Now we're live. I'm glad that comment that Ken made wasn't live beforehand, but
Oh yeah, the one about Pythagoras. That was a great.
yeah, Pythagoras theorem, A2 plus B2 equals C squared. Is that the one?
You got it.
Something like that. Yeah. So
Pythagoras had that WAP.
Had that? Yeah,
Okay.
I love that.
Yeah, that WAP. That's actually what the formula stands for. It's a lesser known one.
Well, well, speaking of standing up for, we're going to be standing up for this amazing podcast here, ladies and gentlemen. This is
the one about Pythagoras. That was a great.
Yeah, Pythagoras.
There it is.
Sorry.
Hey, who are those guys? They're pretty funny.
Yeah, they're pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, right. I don't know who they could be.
Start talking about WAP and stuff, which stands for wild and totally fun with a PH.
That's right.
Fun.
Sorry, that was the echo playing. It's not playing anymore. So I will echo what I was saying earlier, which is welcome to the Basic Nerd Experience. I'm your host with the most that looks like a ghost. Today I'm with Andres Fuentes.
Yeah.
It's been a while. It's been a long while. It's been about a month and a half. It's been a long time. Last time we talked was about Andor and She-Hulk, and I got to be honest, I have stopped caring about She-Hulk, and I've heard nothing but good things about Andor. So we got to do an episode about that, Andres, about Andor.
Yep, She-Hulk is still thick.
I thought we discussed this.
All right, wait, hang on. But before he gets to another weird direction, I do want to invite a regular guest on this podcast, Mr. XV, Mr. Ken Fisher.
What up, guys?
It's been almost a year since we had this man. And then we also have Javi, who was here a couple of times. Welcome, Javi, to the podcast here.
What's up? I'm Javi.
What's going on? So we got a very special, but also a very, we're going to do a very serious episode because we want to honor the life and the memory of Mr. Kevin Conroy, most notably known as the voice actor for Batman and Bruce Wayne. He's been doing this for a long, long time. And so we want to take this opportunity to basically say thank you to the man who's been doing this for a long time. Very shocking, very, very young, if you ask me. Like, even though he was 66, he still had a long ways to go. But
yeah,
I think it was Cantor Brandon who was saying that it was cancer that took him.
Yes.
That's pretty. It's still 66. That's
still pretty young.
Yeah, that's still pretty young. So, but we think it would be a good way to get back into talking in the basic nerd experience, but also like basically share around the room and talk about like what Kevin Conroy has meant to us. So I'm gonna let Ken start this off. So Ken, what was the first what was the first thing, your first exposure to Kevin Conroy as Batman?
My first impression to Kevin Conroy's Batman was actually, believe it or not, Justice League Unlimited. Before the its predecessor of Justice League Unlimited was my first impression of his Batman.
What was Justice League Unlimited?
That's where the Justice League created their own team and expand the Justice League into characters like Green Arrow, Red Tornado.
It was the sequel series to Justice League.
Correct.
Oh, what am I saying? Yes, I'm sorry.
And you call yourself a nerd.
For some reason, I was thinking of DC Heroes. I'm sorry. I don't know why. Go ahead.
So that was my first impression of him, and that was actually my first DC show ever watched as a kid. And it actually made me fall in love with DC from that point, was because of that show itself. Seeing characters like Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Arrow, and so many others, it kind of my introduction to that. But what stood out to me was actually was Batman. And because of that, I actually read more comic books regarding Batman because of him. And all I could hear was that voice of Kevin Conroy. Any comic book I read, all I heard was Kevin Conroy's voice. So, and the more time that went by, I'm pretty sure all of us can agree on this. His portrayal of Bruce Wayne or Batman only expanded.
I agree there. Yeah. So with Justice League Unlimited, like, did you so at first did you think that that was the definitive voice of Batman, or as you were exposed to more voices, was Kevin Conroy still the definitive Batman to you?
He was. growing up, all I heard was his voice. So that's what I thought the voice of Batman was. And the more time that went by, the more older I grew, and the more I realized about these voice actors who were portraying this voice of Batman. It was more that I understood how much of importance this character was to Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
You know, he even said in an interview himself that playing Batman was actually a risk that he thought was a risk to his career. You know, people in a sense I think mocked him for it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you know, people asked him, "Why don't you do a different superhero?" You know, people asked him that, and he said, "Are you kidding me? I have the best one." You know, ever since he got that role, he's loved it, and he's honed that role. That is his role. You know, and many other iterations of any comic book characters, you know, they all looked and spoke to Kevin Conroy for advice, and they looked up to him because of how much passion he had for this character. You know, and I think that's because we take away from this whole thing is that there will never be another one like him. You know,
Well, like
and
what makes, I'm sorry to interrupt, but like what makes him different than other voice actors playing Batman, or even maybe perhaps saying like live action Batman?
in my opinion, what makes him different from the live action version is that not only did we have many other iterations of Batman probably before him, probably like Adam West, um, but he had to find a way to make the character feel authentic. You know, like as if you're watching it and you can already feel that this is the character he's playing, that this is Batman. Um, I'm not saying that that the other voice actors don't do that, you know. But what I mean is that Kevin Conroy, since the absolute beginning, how do I say, he just gave it his all, you know.
Mm.
It wasn't just another paycheck for him. He loved this character.
So it was the
And
passion behind the voice that really made you like love this character.
yes.
And
So you, like,
oh, I'm sorry.
no, I was gonna say basically it's like it sounds to me like it's more like the behind the scenes of like basically like what got him that role, what made him become what it was, like the story behind the voice. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, and not only the story behind the voice, but because of like there have been so many iterations that he's done playing Batman, each role is different from the Arkham verse, from the games
Yeah.
to Justice League, to just any other movie or show that he's been part of. Some of those are different iterations, and he has to come up with a creative way to not only make you feel that he's the Batman, but to remind you that this is him doing the voice.
Hmm.
You know, staying accurate to what's asked of him.
And it's pretty impressive. It's sorry to cut you off, Ken, but it's pretty impressive because from an interview that I dug up from him before he did the animated series back in the 90s, he well, he basically had zero knowledge of the Batman comics. So he basically had to work from scratch, start reading all these comics, like the Court of Owls, Hush, Dollface, and all that stuff. Like the classic Batman stories. And
Dark Knight Returns, yeah.
The Dark Knight Returns, yeah, the Frank Miller stuff. And as he kept progressing through the role, he started to become one with the role. And it's evident in the way that he speaks that he does, like Ken says, he does care for the character because he starts thinking about getting inside of that mindset. He actually said in some interviews ago that getting in the mindset of Batman is fun, but it can also be a kind of unpleasant one because you have to get into the mind of basically this damaged person who had his parents taken away from him from some scumbag at Crime Alley when he was a kid.
Jojo.
And yeah. And the fact that he's reviled with guilt, with shame, and with a sense of duty to actually make up for not being able to do anything, even though it wasn't his fault, like he said that's one of the purest forms of like the spirit of the human being that I think you can ever achieve, especially when you get to that physical and mental peak. and that's why, in my opinion, like that's where I think Kevin Conroy brings the inspiration to the role. It's the fact that he humanizes it in a way where it's his tone. It's just like, no matter what he's speaking, whether he's speaking like answer me, or if he's singing like only you, if he's soothing and stuff, he brings it. He never half-asses it. I cannot name you one performance where he doesn't give it his all. Really, not even in DC, not even in like that freaking DC universe multiverse type stuff that he did back in 2011 with Arkham City. It was incredible every single step of the way. Sorry to cut you off, Kevin. That's
No, you're good. And to go off what you said is like Kevin Conroy's voice was very much unique in the sense of like, as you say, he sounded like this soothing character, right? But also at times he'd be intimidating. And it's that same thing that brings to the table of the voice of Batman and Bruce Wayne, two different personalities. And you could hear the difference between the two, where even Conroy said Batman to him is who he is. Bruce Wayne is just a disguise.
Yeah.
So, and there's been multiple things of example, Batman Brave and the Bold, where even though he wasn't the voice of Batman, he was, I think, the Spectre. And the Spectre was the good side, the soothing side of Bruce Wayne, the good side.
And Mark Hamill, who originally played the Joker in the same series, played the other side, the one that gives into the dark temptation to kill.
Exactly. So it's just the soothing side, of course, is Bruce Wayne, that rich boy that everyone loves, that everyone sees. No one sees the Batman. No one knows he's the Batman. And then there's this intimidating, brooding side to him that we hear every now and then. And it's just a unique way. Look, very small detail, but it's very unique.
I agree there, man. Javi, I didn't mean to. I noticed that you were. Did I speak over you? I didn't want to.
Oh no, you're good. It's all good. No worries. Yeah, y'all can go ahead and talk first because my experience with it is a bit different. So, not that it's negative, by the way. Just we'll get into that. We'll get into that.
Didn't want to insinuate anything. I just if you wanted to speak, absolutely, you can go for it.
Oh no, it's all good. No worries. Go ahead.
I love how when Javi said that, at least I just like just popped out of his skull.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, I can talk about it right now. Like my experience with Kevin Conroy specifically, like is where I come from. I just want to preface, like I am not the most seasoned Batman fan. Like I've liked Batman like on and off throughout the past 10 years. I actually started off with like the Batman. Remember like the 2004 animated series that like ran alongside Teen Titans and shit. Like so that's So like I've been. Like over the past like at that point I guess like 2 decades I've been like an on and off Batman fan. So my experience with like Kevin Conroy specifically, I just looked just now I looked it up and he's been in stuff that I've witnessed like the Arkham games and shit like that. But I actually didn't get to watch the animated series like the 90s one till like very very recently that my partner Robin put me on. That's not a joke, by the way. That's actually my partner's name. They've
nice.
Robin.
Oh, yeah.
The irony of that one.
Oh yeah, brother. But yeah, they basically put me on, and like I've actually gotten to watch it and like like experience it for the first time, and suddenly it just made sense as to why like the image of Batman has grown into like what he is now, because like he really like when when I first watched it just felt natural. Like I didn't question at all that this is like the voice Batman would have, not to say that any other depiction hasn't been the same, or like now in retrospect, I guess like it's not that like any other performance has not been good or anything, but it's like each Batman portrayal has its like different strengths and weaknesses, I guess, and like in an animated like context, you really have to like bring the voice to life, and it would just be a little weird hearing like Robert Pattinson or Christian Bale or something doing an animated Batman voice. I'm sure they could give it their best shot, but it's like
depends on which one.
Yeah, but you know, like in a
But-
general sense, in animation, it's a little bit of a different ball game. So this dude really like
You have to be
brought
more
that.
you have to. I feel like when you're. I'm sorry to cut you off on.
No, you're good. You're good.
Whatever your name is, I almost called you Andres. Han,
Thank
but-
you.
Twins,
Yeah,
no?
Got someone on your mind?
But
Elliot,
I'm
Elliot,
just saying,
Elliot,
like,
there. Just soak it in, Elliot. Soak it in.
I'm sorry, there was a lot.
God damn it, Ken.
Oh, boy.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt, Elliot. Please feel free to soak us with your information, man. Go
Yeah, I was soaking in the moment. But basically, what I wanted to say was the fact that as someone who basically is in doing in a career of doing a lot of radio stuff, for example, like doing stuff for NPR and ESPN and stuff like that, you have to be big and vivacious, and you have to like project a lot, and sometimes you have to, it's gonna sound weird, but you have to have a performance that's like, sometimes it's like more than like you are physically, because like sometimes like when you're not showing it, you have to like not overdo it, but basically you have to like put more passion into it as well. And Kevin Conroy definitely did this, and one of the things that he definitely excelled at was like, it depends on the project as well, because like, for example, like I'm sure like our generation, for example, knows him more as Batman than Bruce Wayne. But with Batman the animated series, you see that duality. You see like of him being like, when he's Bruce Wayne, he's calmer, he's more reserved, he's definitely more like content with stuff. Like, oh, this is interesting, I've noticed this. Okay, but then when he's Batman, he's like, I am vengeance, I am the night, I am Batman. Like, like he had that raspiness, like, oh man, like, but the thing is that is, for example, like the Batman anime series was obviously the first like exposure to many people, like, and that was right after Michael Keaton was, because the Batman anime series was like basically influenced by the Tim Burton movies, the first two.
Down to
So-
the Batmobile. If you look at the Batmobile design, it's basically the same
Yeah.
thing as the
It's the
Yeah,
design,
it's
yes,
basically-
it's the same design.
It's basically a continuation of those, but like Kevin Conroy has been great of like instrumental of it. Like that's the voice of Batman, even beyond the movies, that's like him, like it's been great. And I feel like Batman is a character that really like, it's the most famous DC superhero. Like I feel like that's the go-to if you ask me. Like,
It's not Superman, but Superman, honestly, I mean, it might be a hot take, but Superman's a little mid, unless done really right, like really, really well. Superman, as a concept, it's more mid than Batman. Batman is interesting.
Can I be honest
Yeah.
though? It's really when Superman Returns when it started to become meh.
Back in
Now, I'm talking about the
2006,
concept, though, like the general concept of it. I find Batman to be just a little more interesting, just,
Well, I think
my taste, I guess.
I
Most
think
people
it's
probably
also-
agree, but
You know what? It depends, because when Superman and Batman were created was like the late 30s. I believe Superman was created in 38, but Batman was 39 the year after. But it was definitely different, a different time, and also their origin story as well. And I
Right.
also, because think about it, Superman has, he's unstoppable. He's an alien. Nothing could stop him except kryptonite. This green little element that like no one's ever heard of before. But the Batman has no powers at all. All he has is his brains.
Yeah,
Actually,
And can
Elliot,
beat him in the
so
battle.
sorry to interrupt, but Batman was created in 39, while Superman was created in 33.
oh
Mm-hmm.
wow.
Superman, the most popular comic book superhero, was created by writer Jerry Siegel and artist Joe Shuster in 1933, while both attended Glenville High School.
Wait, I see something that says 1938 for Britannica.
Are you talking about Batman or Superman?
Superman.
Well, either way it goes, they're strapped in the beginning of the golden age of comic books, like we're talking about the Detective Comics from 39. We're talking about the starter Superman series, like this is the same Superman that was able to sneeze solar systems away. It was a little bit, it started off good, but then it got a little bit too ridiculous, and then yeah, a whole bunch of ridiculous stuff. But turning it back to Kevin Conroy, the we keep talking about the animated series, which is influential by every stretch of the word. But me personally, I didn't get into that series until maybe when I was 15 or 16 years old. In fact, I started hearing Kevin Conroy with Batman Beyond when Terry McGinnis was the Batman, you know. So I grew up with him, and when I saw Return of the Joker, that's when I heard the Joker's Mark Hamill for the first time, and I was like, wow, this guy definitely does sound like the Joker, man. So it kind of came a little weird to me that Terry was the Batman of then, because although like I found him interesting, I found him to be a solid character, really cool character, but the mentor, like Bruce Wayne, like I was attracted to his voice, you know, like because like he was an old man. So I didn't grow up hearing I am vengeance, I am the night, I am Batman, you know. I always grew up saying I always grew up with him saying, Terry, focus. No, Ace, go over there, you know, like an old man, you know. But I started rewatching it again, and I really do appreciate like his performance in this show particularly, you know, because you see an aging Batman, one who is anxious to pass on his mantle to the next generation of the Batman, you know, because he knows he's not ready, and the origin, how he actually explains it to Terry, why he gave up the mantle, is fascinating, because as he started getting older, he got slower. He even stooped to using a gun when he was getting bested by a common thug.
Back in that, the early, I remember he had a gun back in like the early comics.
Yeah, and when that time when he realized this, Kevin's performance hit the nail in the coffin. It expressing his disappointment in himself for stooping to using a gun, you know, and you know, and he says never again, shuts off the Batcave, you know. But then this kid comes out of nowhere, you know, and then he starts showing similar ideals. He comes from a broken family, you know, like doing everything he can to support his mom, trying to live a normal life, you know. But turns out with the Batman, there is no normal life, you know. And even in the animated series, when he finds love with Talia al Ghul, Ra's al Ghul's daughter, he breaks down crying in his cemetery because he finds something that makes him, you know, something bigger than himself, you know, makes him feel bigger, you know, like, oh, here's a chance for me to actually live a life, you know, maybe get married, have some kids. Then he breaks down to his parents saying, I never knew it was going to be this difficult, you know. So he's
what but was that Batman the Animated Series, or was that Mask of the Phantasm you're thinking about here?
Oh, it was Mask of the Phantasm. You're right, Ken. Yes, it was Mask of the Phantasm.
And it wasn't Talia al Ghul. It was this other female. I forget what her name was.
I always thought that was Talia al Ghul. Oh
no, not Talia al Ghul. Let me see what her name was real quick. I can put it up.
Was it Arthur Fleck? No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, fuck. Andrea Beaumont.
I would have never guessed that name. That is a very unique name. Wow.
Yeah, my fourth guess.
Andrea Beaumont, and the reason why that name is so important because her father was part of the mob, and who was also part of the mob in this movie was the Joker, who was the main villain.
Oh, yeah.
So if I were you guys, I would give that movie a rewatch. Just in my opinion, the best animated Batman movie there is.
I still haven't seen it.
Dude. Okay.
Again.
I've been like Javi. I was very late to the Batman animated series.
And here's me. And you guys call yourself nerds.
Hey, dude, it's all about exposure. Okay, so I was exposed to this shit kind of late too. Like I was a pretty daft kid, you know. So it took me a while to
punk.
Exactly, I was
daft
a
little punk.
I was a pretty bad
Definitely
punk back
fuck,
in
I
my
hate
day,
you guys.
But
Yeah,
No,
like I
I
said,
know it's a good point because I think exposure is a good thing. Like, I mean, I'm sorry to cut in, Andres, but like, a big thing for me was like, for Batman was, I think the first exposure to Batman for me was the 1966 show. My mom grew up on that, on watching it on ABC, and she was wee lattice watching the whole show, like on reruns and stuff like that. But like,
That's the Adam West one, right?
yeah.
66.
yeah, Adam West.
The one that's like
Yeah,
low key
he's-
humorous.
with the
Rest in
shark
peace, Adam
repellent.
West. Oh, shark repellent. That shit was fucking. Oh my god.
It's
like-
not. It's not the bat repellent. It's just regular shark
Shark
repellent that you
repellent.
got from the helicopter.
It's like, and
With the-
and the fact that they use that in the Lego Batman movie, I'm like,
Yes,
I hate
it
you,
works.
but I love you, and it works. I'm like, I hate you guys for that shit.
No, good.
Um,
Keep it going. Like Batman to get a sequel. I'm waiting for it. We'll learn that.
I
But
want some of that shit.
now let's go.
Don't forget the bat cookies and bat milk.
Yes, fucking Bat Hound.
That was from a Scooby Doo
Um,
movie, though, right?
I was, yeah.
The cookies and bat milk.
Now, like next guys, no, Elliot, let me ask you this: for someone who was exposed late to the scenery of the Batman, and for someone who's watched a very limited amount of movies regarding the Batman, what's one role that like you would like to see that if Kevin Conroy was still alive to this day, if he kept going, what's one role that you would like to see? Sorry, one series that you would like to see him bring back. It could be the Arkham games, it could be the show, movie, doesn't matter.
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, the Justice League show. I got to be honest. That was my first. Well, I was saying, you know what? I take that back about earlier when I said about the Batman show. The Justice League show was my first exposure to Batman, and I think it would be, bring justice to the character again. Sorry, I had to.
Yeah,
Bruh.
no.
What did that take me like a second? Like I didn't even question it. I was like, yeah, okay.
Dude,
Yeah.
Tommy, he even emphasized it.
No, yeah, it still took me like a good like second and a half. That's interesting.
This is from the man who has an auditory processing disorder. It takes me a minute just to figure out what the hell is up with life. So I
Feel
understand.
that, brother.
I'm
Feel that.
not sure if you.
I would-
I'm not sure if. Oh, sorry to interrupt, but I'm not sure if you're aware, but they actually did make a fuck you in the dab again. Hey, you both for it. I caught it immediately. I caught it immediately. I know it's been a year, but motherfucker, I'm catching this shit this time.
Keep the tradition going.
They actually made a movie on that original Justice League show called Justice League versus the Fatal Five. Same design of the show, same voice actors and actresses.
I don't think
And
I've
it-
watched that one. Is it
Yeah,
from?
me
Is
either.
it in
I've
the
been
same
behind
era?
with-
Like,
Same.
I've been behind with my DC animated movies.
But lucky for you, I've been catching up on everything.
Damn, dude, I wish I had more time.
yeah, dude. The last I think Batman movie that I remember seeing from with Kevin Conroy in it was Justice League Doom, where
Oh yeah.
where like it's basically the movie where there's a special feature where you go to the menu and you see Batman's monologue for how to. You okay? Okay,
Oh.
never mind. So to continue, and he basically gives a monologue for how to defeat every single member of the Justice League, including himself. And apparently, this is the main plot for the movie because there are these leagues of villains from every single like hero's rogues gallery that comes together, infiltrates that plan that Batman has, his inner monologue, right? And they basically exploit it to basically drive every single member of the Justice League to near death, including Batman, who was buried alive by Bane, and like like although it's one of Kevin Conroy's like more pedestrian performances, I really enjoyed it. It was released back in 2015 when Javi and I graduated and stuff, and that was a sweet ass treat right there, so yeah, if I could give a recommendation, Justice League Doom, that's a decent movie right there.
that movie was a pretty good movie too, and also just shows the side of Batman as like how the way he thinks is different from everyone else in the jail. You know, he made a contingency plan for every member, including himself,
Hmm.
just in case they would ever go rogue or succumb to mind control, as they said in the movie. And I didn't want to agree with it. People thought that it was a lack of their trust, but honestly, and you know, in his defense, they were the most powerful members in the entire world. And
Yeah.
if they went to that dark side, who's gonna stop them?
No, it
Dark
makes
side.
sense. Yeah,
Yeah.
You
makes
know,
total sense. It's like the
so
forbidden WikiLeaks or something. Like
yeah,
it's necessary. Like
A good old DC version of Julian Assange, you know. But I I, I think when I revisited DC, like I was just off the hype of Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, you know, and patiently waiting for the next game, you know, which wouldn't come out until like 5 years later with Kevin Conroy back in the wheel. But there was one series that I think did him a lot of justice, and it goes for the two games that I'm talking
Justice.
about. Injustice. Yep. I love Injustice. I really do. It's mostly due to Tim Daly's performance as Superman and Kevin Conroy's performance as Batman.
let's not talk about the movie Injustice because that movie was horrible.
I mean,
so I've
Yeah.
heard. I've not watched it,
Yeah.
but I've heard very very bad things
Let's
about it.
let's not talk about it.
The only good thing that I got out of it was I forgot the character's name, but the only good thing, the only scene that really was like, wow, this is actually really pretty thought provoking was when Superman was trying to get rid of, I think it was something about gun control or something like that, and the one superhero was like, okay, so you want to take away guns? That's cool. Okay, so then take away cigarettes, take away all the bad things that happen in life, and what's going to happen? The same exact thing. Human beings are still going to try to destroy each other. No matter what you do, people are going to still try to hurt each other. No matter what you do in life, you're going to try to protect things. You can try to create this crime syndicate. You can do so much, but you can only do so much.
Mm-hmm.
And it will
That
solve.
was that's a good yeah. That was a
Thought
great
provoking.
that was a great moment right there. Yeah.
The
That
only
goes-
good moment from that movie. 4 out of
Yeah.
10. But
Oh, wait, okay. Another because the way in which it, like, here's one thing that I think the movie did better than the games. Showing Batman's reaction to Dick Grayson.
oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, it was by
Mm.
far one of the saddest, like one of the, because for context, right? For in the Injustice comics, there's a prison breakout after Lois Lane's death, right, at the hands of the Joker, and basically Batman is down to recruiting supervillains for this rebellion that he's forming against Superman's syndicate. You know, this is called the Batman's insurrection against Superman's syndicate. And then he has Damian Wayne, the current Robin, his son, fighting with him, right? And he says, I'm sick of all of you, okay? I want to kill everybody. And then Dick is like, dude, control yourself. You don't have to do this. And then Damian's like, shut up. He throws an eskrima at him, hits him in the temple, and then Dick cracks his
Head?
back, his head. Yep. And in the movie, like, his reaction is perfect. It's pitch perfect. Like he because this is his first trained guy, the first Robin. He's dead, you know. And then Selena Kyle tries to find him, and then we see him just punching up like one of the pillars of the Batcave until his knuckles are literally bleeding. Like, he's not stopping. Selena's like, "Don't be the Mask, just be Bruce." He breaks down crying, and I think that moment was done much better in the movie, if you ask me.
Yeah, like I would agree that one scene was a great touch in the movie. Like I say, don't be the mess, just let go.
Just let go. Just be Bruce.
She said, break down, and I'll be here to pick up, and I'll be here to
Yeah.
to pick you up.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
and that to me kind of defined the relationship between Selena and Bruce Wayne.
Bruce.
So that to me was great.
It's a complicated relationship, but they still care for each other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not taking anything away from Kevin Conroy's performance in the games, because like he still goes balls deep in his performance. He turns in a record breaker, seriously.
Yes, he really did a phenomenal job at soaking that voice of his, into that role.
Yeah, especially especially in the second. I'm sorry, it took a little bit to process it in my mind, but yeah. In the second one too, where we finally have Aquaman as a playable character, and he gets to soak all over us too. It's incredible. But
Yes, everyone soaked.
Yes, and Kevin Conroy, like he by far turns in one of the best performances there. Like in Injustice 2, there's a moment where Superman gets blasted by a deflection beam of one of Brainiac's ships, and Supergirl is trying to find him, but he's nowhere to be found. And then Supergirl's like turning to Batman. He's like, "What? Are you happy now? You happy that he's dead? You don't have to deal with him anymore." And Batman's like, "I'm gonna miss him a lot. I miss him very much, because I didn't just lose a comrade. I lost a friend." You know,
He's like Buzz Lightyear for the Buzz Lightyear movie.
I
miss him so much. One more time.
Except I think Kevin Conroy did incredible in that one, because as Ken says, like Kevin is not afraid to sulk his voice a bit, like when he needs to get serious, when he needs to get very melancholy and sad, he's got the chops for it. He absolutely does. And it's one of the most underrated performances, if you ask me.
Yes, very much so. And then I have a question for you guys as well. Another question. When it comes to the definitive version of the Batman, there's been many iterations of voice actors, from Kevin Conroy to Jason O'Mara to many other voice actors.
Yeah.
How do you think the live action Batman and from past into future took Kevin Conroy's Batman as inspiration and put it into their own world?
Very complicated. Very, very complicated. Because like I feel like okay, so now that I have gotten to really, soak in Kevin Conroy as Batman's voice, you know what I'm saying? Like I see now. It's like you said something earlier where it was like, you watch the show and this is like, Mark Hamill was Joker as well, right? So it's like these are the definitive, like this is definitely like the point where this became like the definitive, like in an animated context, this is what you want. And you could even argue that future Joker iterations have taken inspiration from Mark Hamill as Joker as well.
Yeah.
So, like Kevin had like this very obviously more theatrical, because again, my whole point with this is like in the context of animation, you really have to like express more because of the medium. This man had such like such a woolly kind of voice, and so he had like a range, so it was very like woolly. He could get aggressive, he could be more soft at the same time, but there is like a certain like congruency to it, I guess, and this is his entire performance as Batman. So like future iterations of Batman, like live action and shit and everything, it's like they take inspiration from it. You could tell, like there had to be, like, nothing exists in a vacuum, so they had to have that as like maybe even subconsciously, who knows, as like kind of the benchmark for it. It's hard to say like whether you can really compare it to Kevin, because
No, of course.
each iteration, you look at a guy like oh my god, why I'm blanking out so hard right now. Freaking not Robert Pattinson. I know this
Ben Affleck.
Christian Bale. I literally said his name earlier. I know I blanked on that, but
I love how Robert Pattinson belongs to the boys right now because he's Batman. No, this is
honestly, yeah, like Christian Bale. Robert Pattinson is a different thing for sure. But even Christian Bale, you could tell he like in some instances like he was trying to go after that, but he still at the end of the day sounds like Chris Bale, and that's not a bad thing at all. Like, I appreciate like the energy that Christian Bale brings to things, and like his version of Batman is also a very good one. It's one that I had in my mind like for a very very long time too. You know, I grew up like, well, say we all grew up during the fucking the era of like the Dark Knight trilogy and shit like that. So like
Yes.
that was like he was for all intents and purposes Batman during that time. But um, it does feel like very much derivative of Kevin Conroy. Like now listening to Kevin Conroy, it's like that's Batman. Like that's what Batman is supposed to sound like. So every iteration after that is going to be compared to that, like whether you like it or not. And you can hear the congruency in each version compared to Kevin. Like if it wasn't for Kevin's, like portrayal of him, he definitely added to like the overall like aura of the character because every other iteration after that has in some way, shape, or form had to have taken inspiration from that. There's just no other way around it. You could sort of even argue that like Michael Keaton even before the animated series was like the proto Batman,
Yeah.
but still it's not like it wasn't quite there. Like Kevin definitely like again seeing the animated series and being aware of like getting to really like I don't want to say soak in, but just really really absorb his Batman, I guess. It makes sense like why every other iteration after that point had to have some similarity to this because he just made it work so well, you know.
I agree. I absolutely agree there. And like, I know that every the like Batman already has like an incredible degree of fans, and everybody's gonna have their favorites. Like I've even met people who say that their favorite Batman was George Clooney with the bat nipples and stuff, and I'm just like,
Okay.
okay, you do you.
The nipples were a paid actor in that movie.
But you bring up a good point actually, because each generation of Batman has their definitive stamp on history. At one point Val Kilmer was the Batman, Michael Keaton was the Batman, George Clooney was the Batman, and then it was, during this period of time when there were almost no live action movies from Batman, and the only thing that people had to reference it for the new generation was Kevin Conroy. And that a lot of that generation comes like straight from the 90s all the way to even today, when like, well, not today because rest in peace, but from the 90s to the 2020s, and that's Kevin Conroy right there. Even when the Batman movies started developing again, started sprouting out, people still felt to Kevin Conroy as the definitive Batman voice because, well, it took time for him to actually grow into that voice. He was great at first, but then he really started to hone it in. He started to see Batman in different contexts, different situations, and it's interesting to see. Even it's interesting to see him that way, even in media that's kind of mixed, like Batman: The Killing Joke, the adaptation of the world renowned comic, but the movie adaptation of this thing, like even then, when people had a problem, it wasn't with Kevin Conroy, because Kevin Conroy, he did the voice for 30 plus years now, so he has it down to a science, even when he's in roles where, like he's fighting with Batgirl because Batgirl fell for a freaking Paris Franz bad guy, and then they start arguing, and then they start fighting, and then they start kissing, and then I'm just like, oh God, no. Like he's still,
I remember that scene.
Yeah, he still goes at it with the nuance of someone who loves the Batman, even in great moments where like Joker gives his monologue, they kill it. Kevin Conroy, Mark Hamill, they absolutely kill it in their performance, and you can tell that they love performing with each other. You can feel that love, even though these are two characters who are supposed to hate each other. It's a miracle. It's incredible. Yeah.
Take the Arkham series, for example.
Yeah, finally.
Besides Origins, because obviously Kevin Conroy didn't do that. Sorry, Ken, another episode. But with Asylum, City, and Night. Sorry, it sounded like a snowstorm came through.
Yeah, you're hyping it up, man. I'm leaning forward for this one.
I'm sorry. It's
A
a lot's going on. But
Thanks for the ASMR. Appreciate it.
I love the lip smack you do.
Just calm down the soak, all right?
Brother,
it was
getting the mic soaked with your voices.
all right. It's
Those
just-
of you who think you know what's going on, you don't.
yeah, exactly. We were like, what the?
Yeah. Anyone watching this is just gonna be like, why the fuck do they keep talking about soaking? Like this.
Trust me, you don't want to know.
Yes. Moving on from that, I do want to say that the Arkham series was when I fell into the. I was gonna say fell into his arms. Falling into.
Okay.
That's one way to soak everything in.
Yeah. Oh man, Batman, take me away. But yeah. But
I'm
the
continuing.
Arkham series was really was like, for example, like Arkham City was my already. I'm 11 years old. Like I've never really played a serious game before. Yeah, back where I played. Sorry, we got the Batwing. But with that being said, like the Arkham series was one I was like, okay, it's time to be serious. It's time to listen in on Kevin Conroy's voice, because in the Arkham series it's kind of more mature than the animated series, if you ask me. Like it's not like the Batman with Robert Pattinson. That one was definitely like that was like mature.
Chef's kiss.
Yes, that was.
We gotta talk about that at some point tonight, because I have so much to say about the Batman.
Yeah, I
bro.
just rewatched that
Oh
recently.
yeah.
I've rewatched it like 4 fucking times at this point. Probably more.
I own
actually,
it.
like 5.
I own it in 4K. And movies.
Oh yeah, brother.
Mhm.
It's too long, but it's good.
It's incredible.
No,
It's not too long. It's perfect. It should have been.
No,
that long.
3 hours is too long. Come on, man, get to the.
No, Elliot. And remember, we all like it to be a bit long. You know what I mean?
We always love it for it to be long, of course.
Captain Gordon coming in. He said, "Put your goddamn hands up, you son of a bitch."
I'm trying to talk about Arkham series. And Ken is like, oh yeah, bro. Like,
Is that a lollipop?
my microphone.
Oh, never mind.
It's the name though. Literally.
Yeah.
I forgot what I was saying. Oh my god.
We're talking about the Arkham series.
Arkham.
How it-
It's a little more mature. Going
Yes.
off of
Yeah,
that.
like how this conversation should be. It's more mature and it's finite and it's great. But like the thing about the Arkham series was very great that really went with the tone of his voice was that it was very serious. It also had that more of like a callous take on Bruce Wayne and the Batman, because people think like the Batman, for example, is like, some people may say like he doesn't care, he's like basically out for himself, but he's really the most compassionate person ever. But it's also like he could be easily misguided, because he's a guy that likes to, take names and kick ass, or take ass and take name or grab names or whatever you want to say. But
Grab
like,
ass, yes.
Grab
Yeah.
ass. Yes, he's a man who loves
Yeah,
to grab
I'm
ass.
right.
oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
But anyways,
Sometimes the wrong ass, as evidenced in the Killing Joke movie. I don't know if y'all want to if y'all want to touch that topic tonight, but
I mean, hey, listen.
no.
awful movie.
Everybody's got their
like-
rule, they got their
Like,
their
look, that movie was soaked in a bunch of shit. All right, let's kick it off from there. The Killing Joke. Oh, as great as that movie and the fucking the
comic.
comic books were.
the comic was better.
I agree. I agree. You know damn well I agree.
The movie is bad.
Can you stop saying that? You're making my Dark Knight rise.
Am I making your bat nipples hard?
Soak it in,
Oh.
Elliot.
Oh, hey, he really did.
If you spring that shit up a third time, I'm leaving this shit.
I
But,
think I might play. There's so many sexual innuendos that I can't keep this straight anymore. God damn it! Like I lost my.
Hey, who said it was sexual, bro? This is about
Yeah,
soaking in
facts.
the ocean.
Yeah,
with your
exactly.
buddies, you know,
exactly. This
getting
is
Then
getting
I'm
very, very
the
soaked,
professional.
Aquaman.
Very
soaking
professional.
soaking with your buddies. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the water in the pool. You know,
exactly.
yeah,
Soaking for the Lord, my man. That's what it is.
yeah. In the name of God, bro.
Yeah.
No, sorry, Batman. I swear to God, swear to me.
Yeah. Swear to the Lord, bro.
What was the tangent we got off of? I completely forgot at this point.
Elliot was
Uh.
okay. So Elliot was mentioning the Arkham series, how he slowly started progressing towards the fact that it's a little bit more mature than the animated series, like a continuation of it in a sense.
I have a question actually. I have a good question now. That it's on the same topic. Because I didn't really play too many of the Arkham games. Like I played a little bit. I know, I have information in my brain about these games. But how would you say? And mind you, again, I didn't even realize that it was Kevin doing his voice in that one. Because I just whatever awareness. I was just more aware on the gameplay, whatever. But how would you say that his performance in that game differs specifically to like the animated series? Because you say that it's more mature, you say it's a little more calloused, but like it how
There's
So-
more of a how do I say it? Because there's basically no Bruce Wayne at all. Not really. There,
No. Here's the thing. You see more Bruce Wayne in Arkham Knight than you do in Arkham City and Arkham Asylum.
no, not at all, dude.
No, wait. Hear me out. I want to say this. So, you see more of the personality of Bruce Wayne when you play Arkham Knight. When you play Arkham Origins, though, you see more of that Bruce Wayne personality taking over.
Yeah, he's supposed to be suave. He's supposed to be a lady killer. Like when Vicky Vale
Lady
started
killer.
saying that. What's up?
You said a lady killer. He was
In a way, okay, in a way, because like
womanizer. Better
yeah,
word for it.
Dude, him and
Listen.
Vicky Vale had a thing going on. Like in
that's
Arkham,
one of the first
in
Batman
Arkham
games,
City.
Michael Keaton.
Remember when she said that Playboy millionaire Bruce Wayne, right? And then Bruce Wayne comes in, it's billionaire Vicky, because millionaires are so last year.
That's Arkham City.
Arkham
Yeah,
City.
Arkham City.
Yep.
Yeah.
You said Arkham Origins.
I never said Arkham Origins.
I said Arkham Origins to make a point of like the whole Bruce one, but he mentioned Arkham City. At least it's lost in the soak right now,
Lost in the sauce.
All right, enough with the soaking.
The sauce.
I'm trying to remember a man's death, and you guys keep going. Yeah, the soaking of his shit is great.
I'm sure he would be amused by this. Like, if he was still alive, let's say we weren't doing this because he passed away, I think he'd be amused by this.
You know what? If
Yeah.
it was Tom Kenny who played SpongeBob, that would make sense because he's Mr. Absorbent.
But
He's literally soaked in water the entire time. Yes,
exactly. It's a huge metaphor, for having fun with your friends. But I'm pretty sure Kevin Conroy would appreciate these types of discussions, because he brought a lot of joy and a lot of love to a lot of different people, and like that's something to consider, and that was his main mission. He succeeded. Lived a really good life right there,
Well, and to answer your question, Javi, was the fact that he's more callous. He's kind of more of like a robust kind of dude, but like
he's more pissed off too.
Yeah, he was.
He's
he
way
was
more
definitely
pissed
more
off.
of this rugged, like late 30s, early 40s. Like, God damn it, I only have like 3 hours of sleep, but I'm somehow completing a 12-hour game in a matter of 4 hours in Arkham City, for example. Like, it's basically like it's more the fact that like he's more reserved because Batman doesn't express any emotion. He's emotionless, and he's very like, I need to get this done for Gotham. And that's something that could be this compared to the Batman, really, because obviously with we see him more with Arkham Knight, which I liked more. The fact that it like towards the it's spoiler alert to Arkham Knight, where it's like it needs a myth more than Batman. It needs something more different. She needs something like, worse than this, and Batman is a symbol and I haven't played Gotham Knights yet, but that's something that they're looking to explore. I have not seen it. The only thing I've seen is him dying. So spoilers for the first 10 minutes of Gotham Knights. But
Gotham Knight, it does not connect to the Arkham series. It's
No,
entirely its own thing. I played the game. I beat it already.
Damn.
Yeah,
is it
I'm
good?
Man, jeez.
it's good for certain characters. Certain characters are very much interpreted the way comic books are nowadays. Like I said, but I don't want to revolve too much into Gotham Knights, because obviously we're here about Kevin Conroy. I'm not trying to do too much of the ADZ podcast again.
Oh, really?
For once, yes. I'm trying to keep things on par,
Oh boy.
So I would say, Javi, to answer your question about what's the difference between the animated series from the Arkham games, without giving too much away for you to explore the games. Batman, you see, as I said, yes, Batman is just emotional, like sorry, not emotional, emotionless. Like he doesn't show too much emotion, but when he does, you can feel and understand what he's going through in that said moments. He's much more intellectual when talking in this in the games than he is in the shows and the movies.
Mm.
Yeah, less polite.
Yes. And he's very understanding about every one of his foes, and you could understand like he's been through this so many times already. He's just an experienced older version of Batman, not like the old man Bruce Wayne, but he's already been Batman for many years.
Yeah.
To the point where he knows his villains, and you could understand like,
superhero, yeah.
He's experienced already.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So
and through the lore, like if you dig up some of the videotapes, some of the lore, you can see that stuff like Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, and Tim Drake have already happened. So he's back on his own. All three Robins have basically become their own thing.
Yeah. And one of them has made their own fast food restaurant called Red Robin.
Yum.
LA, your puns have gotten worse. Come on, man.
No, it's kind of the same, bro.
Well, yes, but no. Dick Grayson, yes, he's already Nightwing in Bloodhaven.
But I don't want to give too much away about the other two Robins.
No, I won't give anything away.
Are we with Robin? Are we calling Damian Wayne or Red Hood?
Shut the fuck up.
Red Robin.
Yeah.
Remember,
Why do I say shut the fuck up? It's the truth. It's out there.
No, wait. Damian, I'm trying to process what you just asked. Did you say
Damian Wayne?
Damian Wayne is the Red Hood?
No, I'm saying because there's you're saying three Robins, but I'm confused because technically there's more than
technically there's Damian Wayne, but as far as I'm concerned, I don't think he's ever.
He was on the games. He was on the games. The only ones in the Arkham games were Dick Grayson, Tim Drake, and
I believe Jason Todd gets referenced here and there.
Yeah. Those three were the only Robins that were in the Arkham games.
Yeah. And apart from Talia al Ghul being in Arkham City, like hinting at a relationship, there's really no mention of a fourth Robin.
It would have been great if there was a spinoff with Damian Wayne. It would have been really cool to kind of see like Talia al Ghul die, or at least like a way where it's like she never told him like, oh, I had a secret child, and like Bruce has to maybe raise Damian, and basically like Batman Beyond kind of moment. Like it'd be kind of cool to see like you are the next myth of Gotham, like
God of Bat Boy edition.
Yeah, emo boy.
boy.
Yo, hot take though. I feel like Damien shouldn't exist. I don't like Damien.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. He's kind of
Damien is a little shit.
He's a little shit, and also it should have been Selena's kid.
Oh my!
Be real here. I am a hard fucking core Bruce and Selena shipper, like straight up.
So believe it or not, there are multiple iterations of that happening. So Selena and Batman and Selena and Bruce have a child, and that's Huntress. Believe it or not, in the alternate iterations.
Oh yeah, Huntress. I forgot about Huntress. Yeah,
interesting.
She was in the Justice League show.
So that's one reference. That's like one iteration of them having a kid. And yes, I agree. Damien is a little fucking shit, and I hated him in the past. But I will agree. There are certain instances where Damien is grown up and more mature, where he realizes, oh wait, father, my dad was right. You know, he grows into this version of Robin that you just feel like, you know what? I like this version better.
I liked him in the Justice League versus Teen Titans movie that it released back in 2017. Do you remember that one?
I still hated Damien at that point, you know.
Mm.
I recommend Javi watching Justice League Apocalypse War.
Oh yeah. That one's kind of like the I mean,
It is.
without giving too much away, yeah, Damian Wayne has a great performance there. He really does.
It is.
You think it'll make me hate him less?
Yeah,
Yes,
it'll
it
make
will.
you hate him
It will,
less. Yeah,
it will.
mostly because his balls finally dropped. He doesn't sound like little shit anymore.
Good.
So it is the goriest but most mature DC movie, animated wise, that they've ever done, in my opinion.
Apocalypse War.
Apocalypse War. Yeah, it's not even spelled like apocalypse like the regular way in which you spell it. It's with
Yeah,
a
I
K.
just saw. It's like a weird.
Apocal. I'm just like, are these people don't know how to spell? But then I
It's
realized,
like in Pigeon English or something.
yeah,
No, that's fucking Apocalypse the way it's spelled for
Apocalypse.
Darkseid's World. Yeah. So yeah, there's that version. So it's honestly one of my favorite versions. So I won't spoil it, but I honestly just watch it as one of my favorite versions of Batman.
yeah.
Also,
It probably won't change your mind about the character, but maybe you'll see him in a bit of a different light.
I would
I
hope
do.
so. Yeah.
yeah, it helps me see Damian Wayne in different light, especially in that factor. I hate him in Injustice, and the fact that he donned Nightwing in Injustice, fuck him. No, he doesn't deserve that
Hey,
fucking
nah,
costume.
Injustice. He's good.
Huh? Huh? Damian Wayne in Injustice taking the
Yeah, Justice 2. Yeah.
and Damian Wayne in general in Injustice is a fucking prick.
No, he's insufferable, man. Like, I really don't like Damian Wayne in Injustice. I really
Because
can't.
that's the thing. He's a dickhead. No one likes him except himself.
Here's the thing, I get it. He was raised by a League of Assassins. He was raised a different way, you know. But he's still like self-centered, you know.
Yeah, even when you know, even in the in-game dialogue, you know, when the fighters are getting ready to fight and stuff, you know, everybody roasts him for being just the most insufferable little turd, man. Seriously, he's freaking entitled. He wants everything done his way. And, you know, he wants to disown Batman as his dad. You know, he says, "I'm the only son you got, old man." And then Batman's like, "Dick was my son too." You know, that was oh my shit.
That was a good fucking line.
You want to know one of my favorite lines is when Batman goes up against Wonder Woman. And Wonder Woman's like, Damian has disowned you. And Batman's like, "You can have him." I'm just like, oh my God, man. Shit, disowning a kid like that. Like, it's funny, but it's also like it hits you hard in the way Kevin says it with such brutality. It's just holy shit.
Well, like also the fact that like Kevin Conroy evoked like this. Batman is supposed to be someone that like, oh, he doesn't care about anybody, but he secretly does. And so like having someone sound so serious and how very you think like he's someone that doesn't care about anybody, but like having lines like, for example, you kill like when he went to Damian Wayne in the first Injustice movie, you killed Dick. And then it's like, you know, like, you're not my son. He was my son. Telling his own blood, like his own real son, someone that he adopted, like that was pretty badass because he's never really open about it. Even, for example, take like Flashpoint Paradox. I'm not sure if Kevin Conroy voiced Batman in that one. It might have been someone else, but like
he was.
Oh, thank you for making my point better. But like that moment when, spoilers towards the end, when like Barry Allen gives a note from Thomas the Tank Engine Wayne and
Oh,
Thomas-
Thomas the Tank Engine Wayne, bruh.
Yeah,
It,
I agree. That
It gives them
scene
this-
was
yeah, it was just like perfect. It was very quiet and it was just very like wow. And you see him cry, like making Batman cry is like holy crap.
that's no easy feat at all.
the fact that in short amount of lines, he says, "You want to help a messenger? Thank you." I'm like, no
I think
man,
That's one of the
No-
most human things, man. Oh my god.
no man, in just a few lines makes you feel like, hurts. Oh, that fucking hurts.
I don't
You
know.
know?
I don't think I've ever heard Kevin portray Batman like that. I think maybe since Arkham Knight, when where he's well, spoiler alert, Barbara gets kidnapped. She's now Oracle at this moment. Like she already got disabled from the Killing Joke. But she starts falling victim to Scarecrow's new fear toxin, right? And Batman is trying to assure her that everything is okay. So, Barbara, it's me, your friend. You see Batman get desperate to reach out to her, like that's a great way of showing Batman in his most desperate, like he's trying to save, someone who's practically a daughter to him, ignore Killing Joke, the movie.
All right,
But,
I was gonna
Yeah,
say-
I was
talking
gonna
about
ask,
someone-
like, this version of like, assuming that the Killing Joke stuff happened, like, we're omitting that part, right? Like, assume that
This
didn't happen.
This is more.
Okay,
This
good.
is more of a mentor, look, father daughter type thing. So we're back to normal.
Okay, so they realized at this point that was a big mistake, and besides maybe Batman Beyond trying to confirm it, like we're past that at this point, right? Like,
Exactly. Hey,
There's still some There's still some daddy issues, but we are able to look past that. Yes.
at least they don't go anywhere.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, and
Well, speaking of soaking, go back to your point, Andres.
yeah, of course, I'll soak it back. But and then Scarecrow gives Batman this fear toxin himself, where he actively ends up being responsible for the supposed death of Barbara Gordon, and then he kneels down, he smacks the glass, and then Alfred comes into the comic. "Oh, sir, what's going on? Did you locate Miss Gordon?" And she's like, "She's dead, Alfred. She's dead because of me." Like you hear the raspiness in the voice, and then Alfred starts to comfort Batman again, saying, "Okay, we have to make sure she didn't die in vain. We have to find some leads." And Kevin sells it. He's like, "I don't think I can't. No way. Like whatever he says, it's desperate. It's very desperate, and it's something that you don't see with Batman that often because he's always in a position where he can actually pull some leverage on the bad guys. But this is a situation where he really believes that she's gone, and that's one of the finer moments, if you ask me, from Arkham Knight, at least.
Yeah. Again, there's been so many iterations of Batman that Kevin Conroy has portrayed. And we've seen so many great episodes, so many great quotes from Kevin Conroy's Batman. And many Batmans just take inspiration from his character. To kind of like, in a sense, not go over the top and kind of beat a dead horse where we're going at here. Out of all the iterations that you guys have seen, which version is number one that Kevin Conroy has played?
Arkham City.
I was about hesitation. God dang.
He really.
I don't have the credentials to answer this question. I'll leave it to you guys.
Like I said, with the versions that you have seen, which one do you think so far?
So seeing the things that each one of us, seeing the pieces of media that each one of us has seen individually.
Correct.
What is our personal number one?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Animated series for me. I mean, to be honest, like that's the most Kevin Conroy exposure I've gotten as him as Batman. Like again, I've seen him in other things, but it's like that's the one where I've really like paid attention, like close attention. to him as Batman. So I'm gonna say that one because either way, that will leak into his other performances for sure. You know, like that'll always that'll always like find its way into future performances from him after that. You know,
Yeah.
or would. Sorry, he passed away, but yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, we have a viewer named Larry who was asking about the soaking, and I don't know how to.
Tell him.
I really don't know how to break this one to you, Larry.
Here, I got it I will say it in the most PG way possible. Larry, the soaking is a group thing.
Depends.
You should
Only-
probably.
Only.
That's the Harvey, you know damn well.
I'll give you the hints if you know I don't know how like R-rated we can get in this. So I'll give you like the hints and you can like
13.
find your way there. It has to do with Mormons. And it can be a group activity. It can perhaps be one, but
That's it.
doesn't necessarily. I'll just leave it to that, you know.
Larry, it's a bros thing. If it's a girl thing, it's a sis thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a have fun.
Just know.
The Wikipedia page on the matter should cover everying. Should
Yeah.
Just,
We'll direct you. Yeah.
just know it's called homosexual for a reason, all right? It's what it is.
You got that from Johnny Boy, you crap.
Damn right.
actually no, because in the Mormon faith, that's also not cool. So yeah,
That's true.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
it's a group activity if you want it to be. If you got a Mormon homie who's that close, I guess.
Yeah.
To kin.
All love,
Crazy.
Larry. All love.
Yeah.
Look at the
Damn right.
little heart right here. Yeah.
I'll let you
Ju-
find that one out for yourself.
Just know, Larry. At this moment in time, we're all living like you, all right?
Living like Larry, man.
Like,
That was left field as fuck.
Damn right.
he
Just
says,
know.
"Send me the link. It sounds actually great." What the?
Oh no, Javi, don't you?
No,
Anyway,
fucking-
actually, no,
let's-
not necessarily, because again, it's within the Mormon faith, so it's actually not technically. So again, just look up the Wikipedia page will tell you everything you need to know.
all right,
Yeah.
all right. Before this gets any more of a soaking matter at hand, we need to stop
Hey, please go back to Kevin Conroy, for God's
Bro. This is now like the basic soaking experience. Just rebrand the entire podcast, 'cause that's what it's about now.
BSC sponsored by LDS.
Freaking BSC sponsored by AIDS.
Okay, enough.
Officially endorsed by the Mormon Church. Okay, we're done.
Okay, I'm done, man. I'm done.
Enough.
So, we didn't mean to interrupt you, but man, like, what were you saying before? I'm sorry.
Me?
Yes.
I forgot. I don't know. We're saying some real pretty bullshit right now. Like, enough.
Bro. All right, can we move on though to the topic of why the Batman was so good?
Yes.
We should talk
Yes.
about
Please,
that.
let's
We need to
talk
talk
about
about
the
that.
Batman, yes.
Okay. So Javi, since you and me are so fond of this fucking movie,
Indeed,
Tell
I
me.
am. Yes.
tell me. And this is gonna be very controversial. When the movie first was announced that Robert Pattinson was going to be the Batman, there was very much some crazy controversy on whether or not he would be good as Bruce Wayne or Batman. After seeing this movie been out a long time, what do you think his performance was?
You're saying like what my stance was like before, when it got announced,
from
or saying
before-
after watching it?
From before and after.
Man, to be honest with you, I was in the camp of like, you know what? I could see it. I don't know what it looks like yet, but I could see this because I mean everyone immediately jumped to like, oh, his like Twilight performance, which like
That was see
like his
even
know,
he hated
The worst
even
thing. I mean,
yeah.
even he hated that role, and he's done so much better shit if you watch the movie and you're actually knowledgeable about what he's
Yeah.
done.
No, exactly. Like
Like,
he had like a good, I don't know. Besides Twilight, like if you think of Twilight immediately, like you are in the wrong, my man. Like no. This man can act.
he's
He
far
can
beyond
act.
that. Yep.
Twilight now, I would even say, not to get too off topic, Twilight now I would say is more of a meme experience, and it's not that bad if you look at it that way. But yeah, you know, like if that was like the immediate performance you had in mind, like no, that dude can act for sure. So I had like I was optimistic about it, to be honest. Like, you know, I wasn't on the camp like, oh man, they made Robert Pattinson the Batman. Oh, it's Edward. This suck. No, absolutely not. It's like, damn, like I could see this. I don't know what it looks like yet, but okay, let's see it, bro. And he did deliver. He in fact did very much.
Fucking perfect.
Delivered. He just fucking just pulled out his. I was gonna make like a bat, like a. He pulled out he pulled out his best Batman performance he could possibly give, is what I was gonna say, and just laid it on top of us.
Oh my god, this podcast.
He just has such a huge personality. You know,
He
I'm
really
kidding.
does.
I'm kidding. No, but honestly though, like as Bruce Wayne, he was fucking great. Like in all seriousness, like if you want to compare, you know, if you want to make the allusion to like Kevin Conroy, the voice. Hey man, every portrayal of Batman's gonna have its strengths, weaknesses, or you could say like particularities.
Yeah.
Obviously, you can't compare. Like it's really not the same.
You
You know what I'm saying? But as like an on-screen Bruce Wayne, he fucking nailed, especially the younger one, like which he is what he is supposed to be portraying. It's supposed to be like his year one, year two of
Year one,
Batman.
exactly. Yes.
My favorite my favorite iteration of Batman is year one. So
Oh
seeing
yeah,
this-
no, he
so-
nails it.
So seeing this version of the Batman Bruce Wayne and seeing how they made Batman scary again after so long,
Yeah.
I'm here like,
Bro, yes. It's so funny you say that, because that's like the one thing that was missing from Christian Bale's portrayal. He was very good. Yeah, dude, seriously, 'cause he was so good at portraying like Bruce Wayne as like, you know, like millionaire playboy. You know what I'm saying?
You can say millennial millionaire.
Millennial. Yeah, I mean,
He's gorged with greatness, bro.
yeah, most definitely soaked in it. You could say molded by it. Molded. okay. But
he was molded by it.
yeah. But no, honestly, like he absolutely, you know, like compared to Robert compared to Robert Pattinson, he was definitely more, he sold like the idea of like a, you know, millionaire rich playboy type of dude. But in retrospect though, like looking back at that, I think even he himself said it, like Christian Bale, like he's like, if you look at the way that Bruce Wayne, you know, not in Batman form, just Bruce Wayne acted, he very much like it's almost sociopathic, the way that this man could just go back to being, you know, hey, Mr. Cool, suave guy, and then right after all the shit he's been through. I feel like Robert Pattinson really sells the fact that like this is you know, this man is like broken inside, bro. This dude's fucked up on the inside. He's still going through it, you know. Maybe in the future he'll kind of like hone in more on like the billionaire playboy personality, just to like upkeep, you know, appearances and shit. But like at least in that case, it'll be a deliberate thing that he has to learn. You know,
maybe that way he'll portray a character that's a billionaire that doesn't have something in the way.
Exactly. Very much.
Something. Anyway,
In my ass, yes.
I wanted to say that, but I don't know. I don't know. At this point, I think anything's on the table. But
We're already soaked with milk, man. We gotta do it.
Bat milk. Yeah, man. Robert Pattinson like absolutely fucking nailed it. I love that he made Batman scary again. You know, like you could tell they really like try to focus on like the aspect of him being like terrifying to his foes. The first scene. Oh, that was so good.
yeah,
that was so
subway,
good.
yeah.
Oh my god.
I screamed, not physically, but like on the inside.
Yeah, I squealed.
It was so good. There are multiple scenes in that movie actually that I like got that reaction out of me. That movie, the first time watching it through, just felt like, you know, it was just like curtain pulled on me and some cool shit happens. Oh, whoa, holy shit! Just multiple times throughout that movie, bro. Let me not even talk about the Batmobile, brother. Like,
oh my god. Yeah.
sorry, Elliot, you were saying?
Yeah.
So-
When you and I saw it in the theaters, was that your first time?
And the what?
when you and I went to the theaters to see the Batman, was that our first? Not our.
Oh, baby, no, our first time was a long time ago.
I don't think
Nah.
it was affiliate though.
No, that was the second
Not
time
our
I watched
first
it,
time
actually.
seeing the movie. I meant to say, was that your first?
Bruh. Hey.
At least one able to soak. At least
My first time soaking. Bruh. Anyways, no, that was my second time actually. The first time I watched it with Robin, my partner. I mean, it was a really cool experience, by the way. I got to watch it at one of the, I think it's called Cine Bistro, where it's like a movie theater that's like really fancy and shit, and you can order food and drinks. So they had like themed drinks. So I believe they ordered Vengeance, or no, I ordered Vengeance. This one called Vengeance, and they ordered one that was called the Riddler, or the Riddle, I think it was. So it was really cool. It was like themed drinks and shit. It was pretty awesome watching it the first time with everything. And the sound system was fucking great. So it was like as soon as the Batmobile scene came on, oh, dude, let me tell you something, because I mean, y'all probably know this already, but like, I'm very big into cars. I enjoy cars. Cars are cool. I own a 2017 Mustang GT performance pack. It's currently in the shop right now because the engine blew. So, dude, seeing that, like, oh, everything they did to bring that Batmobile to life, dude, was just crazy. Because honestly, I was not really happy seeing a Batmobile like in the previous iterations. To be honest, I don't remember if Ben Affleck had one. I didn't watch those movies.
Yeah.
But Christian Bale, like the Tumbler, I get it. I understand. It's supposed to be like a military industrial vehicle. I think it was literally inspired off of one, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Just painted black, I guess. But like, I don't know. It felt Batmobile adjacent. It didn't. I couldn't bring myself to call it the Batmobile, because the Batmobile, it's supposed to be, first of all, a car, in my opinion.
Right.
Yeah, an actual car. Not an off-road, not for civilian use type of thing.
Yeah.
Well,
You're not
that's also
using it
enough.
to, you're not using it to off trail it off mountains. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So this, like, dude, this is the greatest, because I love muscle cars, and seeing this being like not some military industrial thing, but actually something that he built himself, like he believably built himself. With his own knowledge. And I believe I read some of like the prequel material that apparently says this version of Bruce was a street racer as a kid. So he has experience doing this shit, and it's believable in this movie that he built this by himself, just with years of experience, knowing about cars. And the way they brought it to life was just fucking crazy, dude. Like, I know a lot of it's all sound design, but hearing like the fucking like rumble of a V8, dude, was just like, and it's in your face too. Like the way that it just comes alive when when like the penguin's like trying to run away, shit, and that you can hear like
the best scene in that movie was that car chase scene.
Yeah, exactly. You hear it first come alive, like. I lost my shit, dude. Like, I screamed. I actually screamed physically for that one. I want to say.
I was squealing when that happened. I squealed even
Damn,
more when we saw upside down Batman like walking out of a flame. I'm just like, holy shit! Now that
was some of the most badass shit, dude. Just badass. I screamed. I screamed. I creamed. I everything, man. Like, just.
You don't even have to dream, bro.
For real, bro. For real. Like, honestly, my favorite Batmobile today. I even own like the fucking Lego set. It's like somewhere in the in my room somewhere.
I have it downstairs.
Let's
not
go.
the big, not the big one. Oh wait, like is like the big one, like the huge, like the was it? I don't even know how many parts, like something in the thousands parts, or like the smaller one. Oh, same. That's the one I have too. Nice. I loved it that much, bro. It's like, dude, this is just too good, just too good. That was.
And like, let's just appreciate the fact that the director, I forget what his name was,
Matt Reeves.
Matt Reeves brought this star-studded cast and made everything feel authentic. Nothing was forced.
Yeah.
The acting was there. Robert Pattinson as Batman, perfect. Zoe Kravitz as Selina Kyle just fit just right. Colin Farrell as the Penguin, when no one ever thought that was him until the after.
Didn't even know that was him, to be honest. They did the prosthetics so fucking good. Like,
it was perfect.
Crazy.
Jeffrey Wright as Gordon, even though we barely see Gordon in the film, you still feel like, okay, that this feels
Not
like
really. You
Gordon.
get a lot of Gordon in there.
I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Man's
wait,
got a
alright.
lot of good lines though.
All right,
Yep.
all right. Let me agree to this. You don't really see the side of Gordon that's like kind of like, kind of the Arkham games and from like Batman the Animated Series. You see more of his kind of like this old man Gordon, you know.
Are you talking maybe cynical wise or
Cynical wise, yes.
Hmm.
Andy Serkis as Alfred Pennywise. No one would have thought of that casting in a million years, and it fit for Robert
Pennyworth.
Pennywise.
Pennywise.
Serious.
Pennywise.
Sorry, Pennyworth.
Bro.
Sorry,
Reggie.
sorry. Pennyworth, and it just fit for Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne perfectly. And I think we can talk about the
Riddler.
the star to me.
Oh,
what made
Riddler
the
was
movie-
fucking great.
Yeah,
The
real quick. Sorry,
screen-
before I move on to Riddler, real quick, it's just something that came to mind because you mentioned like they made everything look authentic. You know, like everything was very, very believable that like this is Bruce Wayne and he did all of this by himself. I want to make a kind of a parallel here.
Let's go.
The way they presented this concept of presenting Bruce in that way, was what the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man wanted to be and failed to do.
I mean,
I
with varying degrees of success. Given as someone who is a fan of the movies, I can actually assure you, yes. Andrew's movies did try, and to some extent did fail to try to capture that essence of authentic
Believability, you know, that he made this all himself. At least, you know, like, I know they changed the suit in the second one, but it's like, at least, you know, let's be fair here. Let's talk about the first suit. Like that was, you know, it was a good attempt, but this was what that movie was trying to aim for. Like they hit it so freaking well with the Batman, dude.
They did.
So authentic, so believable.
yeah.
Like the suit, everything about it. You know,
Dude, the freaking Iceberg Lounge. I can't believe they put that shit in there, man. It's insane. It was a club where Batman's beating the shit out of these penguin ass motherfuckers. You know, it's insane. It's awesome.
Well,
and it was great. As I said, the costume design was amazing. To the point where Bruce Wayne, and this is how fucking dark and gritty this shit is, used the weapon that killed his parents as the bat symbol for his chest.
the Batarang.
wait, really?
Yeah,
The Batman
real?
thing that he has in his chest?
That's
He took it out and yeah.
Yep, that is the weapon, the exact weapon that killed his parents.
Oh, I didn't know that shit.
You're kidding me. I did not know that at all either.
Look closely. You see, it's the actual construction of a gun molded into this bat,
Oh,
and that's an actual thing
Ah.
and that's an actual thing in comic books too. And that's how dark this shit gets. It's very detailed, and I love everything about it.
Shit, dude. No.
damn, dude.
Well,
I didn't
before
even know that. That's crazy.
before we move on, here's a couple. Well, I wanted to read a couple comments from Larry.
Go for it.
Larry, he says the guy eating fries is weird. Well, I'm assuming he's
That's right, you
Bro.
weird ass bitch.
Bro. Oh, another comment he said, do you like Gotham? No, I haven't watched it. All I know about it is that they used the
No.
Mustang as like a product placement in there, which was very cool, very like identifying for me. I took personal pleasure in that.
I like the fact that Gordon was the main character. I'm on season 2 right now.
Yeah.
So far, it's a
So-
little edgy,
so-
but it's pretty good.
For someone who has seen Gotham from beginning to end, I watched all of Gotham. By far, one of the best interpretations of Gotham City I've ever seen. I love it. The ending, certain things can be changed a bit that I think will be better, but you can't say away that this show is fucking great. Its interpretations of the characters were amazing. The young Bruce Wayne into this into the way turning out was great. See him mature as a child into this young adult. Seeing versions of the characters from a young age to the way they are now, like Penguin, the Riddler, seeing the Kyle, it's amazing to see, you know, and I love every minute of it.
I haven't seen Gotham, so I'm probably the wrong person to talk about this. So I'll leave it to you guys.
Me, because I've seen it all. um. So yeah, back to the Batman.
I
Mentioning the Riddler.
You love it.
The-
Riddler's my
Paul
favorite.
Paul Dino. That's the man right there, man. Yeah.
Quick,
Sells it, bro.
sorry.
when I saw the casting for that character, that Paul Dino was going to be Edward Nygma, the Riddler, I already knew, oh, this is gonna be a fucked up film.
Yeah, dude, I was actually hyped up because before the Batman, I actually saw Paul Dano in
Little Miss Sunshine.
no in Love and Mercy. It's an autobiographical of Brian Wilson and
The Beach Boys.
yeah. I'm a huge Beach Boys fan, so I like the hype that came from that movie just trailed its way over to this movie, and he did not disappoint. The man plays a psychopath like it's dinner, man. Seriously, he sells this shit.
With his pumpkin pie that he ordered when he got arrested.
Exactly. Can we not mention pie when he put your goddamn hands up, boy? Yeah.
But I just ordered some pumpkin pie. Get your ass on the floor.
Paul Dino played this very, and it shows what kind of character that Riddler is. That he always wants to be smarter than the Batman. He wants to outsmart him, and it shows that he actually does in this film. And it shows what an amazing villain he really is.
There was one part of it where I was laughing.
What part?
No.
That shit was fucking gold.
Well,
I get that it was supposed to be terrifying, but I don't know. My first reaction to that was laughing. I was just like, you had it, but then why you do this, man? I don't know what it was, but just caused something in me to laugh. Like it brought me joy, but I don't think it was in the way that they intended it.
Yeah.
well, something. At the Batman. I'm sorry. This adaptation of the Riddler and the Batman is my favorite Riddler adaptation by far.
Even more than in the Arkham games.
Yeah, because he's kind of annoying. He's just there. He's like, riddle me this. I have 3,000 clues you have to solve that has nothing to do with the story.
Yeah. He's a support villain in that game. I remember that.
He's just there. But like this though, is like he's creepy. He also serves like it just the character of him. He's mysterious, but he's kind of like you understand why, but it's still wrong. But you still go, oh, okay. Like it makes sense, and it's like they had influences of like the Zodiac Killer and the old Riddler from like from like when it was created. So I like that. Like I liked it a lot, and it was.
As Larry says in the comments, I think it was a good portrayal. You think he's a nice guy, but later on you see how insane he becomes, and this is very true for Riddler's character.
Yeah.
You know, because this is actually very accurate to what his character is in comic books and Javi's show, the Batman. You know, to where you kind of see this backstory. Okay, now you don't see it in the movie, but you see it in comic books and the show that Riddler is a very nice dude. He wants to be smart, solve puzzles, and be this in kind of helpful guy, but gets done wrong in many ways, to the point where he becomes this sociopath.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, take a look at this as well. All the Batman villains have started good at one point in their lives, depending on what adaptation it is, whatever you look at it. But something along their way, their journey, makes them turn.
Yeah.
Like Two-Face was district attorney, was supposed to protect the city, had a freak accident, and became Two-Face. Joker, depending on the origin, because there's so many freaking origins, he was a failed stand-up. I guess we'll do the movie version, but
The Joker.
the Joker,
Yeah, the base movie.
Basically someone trying to help people, try to laugh, try to do everything he can, but he was alone, and everyone wronged him, and
Mhm.
whatever. We can go on and on, but like even like Poison Ivy, for example, she's trying to save the freaking planet with her plants, and mankind is being assholes, and like even like goes against like Bruce Wayne because Bruce Wayne is Mr. Construction and wants to build stuff, and she's like, hey, hell to the nah, like hell no, like that's not cool. But like, or even Mr. Freeze too.
Oh, Mr. Freeze, dude.
Oh, by the way,
Victor-
speaking of Freeze, sorry, there is rumor that Batman 2, which has already been greenlit, Batman 2, is rumored to have Mr. Freeze as the main villain.
I would like to see that.
Yes, absolutely.
And how to and just have someone not speaking like freaking the puns all the time.
Arnold.
No, I
What
know.
killed the
I'm gonna say
dinosaurs?
that's
The Ice
Ice
Age.
Age.
yeah, no, literally, that's like the imprint I have of that villain in my brain. I don't know. I don't know. In the comics, never like read over him too much, so that's literally like the portrayal I have stuck in my brain. Is Arnold.
You think you do the job, like that kind of
Bro. So I'm
You
so
need to
happy that
kill.
that second movie's getting greenlit though already. Like it's already probably in production. Oh god, thank God.
Yes, yes.
I will
I'll
say
be there
one thing,
day
though.
one.
Bro, I will say one thing though, because it's a great movie. Like honestly, they nailed it in so many aspects. But there is one. I want to say it's almost a fatal flaw. You probably know what I'm going to talk about here. It's almost a fatal flaw, and it's the fact that the fucking Joker is in it.
Ah,
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm so fucking tired of Joker. We don't need
That's a fair point.
Society has progressed past the need for another Joker. We're
Yeah.
that's it. We're good,
Dude,
bro.
we
Like
live in a
society,
society,
Javi.
we progressed past this point, my man. Like I'm sorry, but, like
Dude, they managed to do a perfectly fine film with Batman Begins with Scarecrow as one of the main villains and Ra's al Ghul managing to hold his own as a main villain too, man. Like I agree with you. We don't need another Joker. You know what I mean?
dude, after Heath
Granted-
Ledger, it's just been like an echo chamber of Jokers. You know what I'm saying? Each one has just been. It's kind of like the Kevin Conroy effect, but like negative. You know what I'm saying? Even this new one. I know like the actor is supposedly like a good actor and stuff, but
Joaquin Phoenix.
y'all watch the deleted scene?
Yep.
Because I was already unhappy with like him being in the movie, like just in general. But
Yeah.
like that deleted scene, I agree, was unnecessary.
It would have been cool if it was Two-Face.
I would have.
Two-Face would have been more interesting,
It
honestly.
was-
Like,
He served the city. He probably would have known Penguin and like would have known the mob people. Like it would have made more sense. Like it's even just to tease him in the second one. But Joker, it's tired, man. Like already, like it's.
I would say, on the route of the second Batman movie, Mr. Freeze, perfect villain, but also go more into depth on the Penguin,
Well, he's already
was-
having a TV show.
Yes, and with Colin Farrell being the main point of the film.
Let's go.
But I want to see more Robert Pattinson and the Penguin on screen together. That's what I want to see.
I love that he's not
Um,
necessarily like a full on villain. He's like just an asshole, essentially.
He's just a
Who moves
dick.
things
He's,
around.
he's just a dick, and I love it. That's literally what Penguin is. He's just,
Yeah,
he's
he's
just a
basically
dick.
the runner of this nightclub, right? And he basically smokes people out of their money. He's basically like a music executive with a prostate the size of a beach ball or something like that. Like I don't know, something along those lines.
Definitely gives enlarged prostate vibes for sure.
Yes, absolutely. I love that, and I love the fact that after they capture the penguin and they find the next clue, right? They just leave him.
Just leave him there. That was great. I left my ass off.
I was like,
That was great.
yes. That just fair. I'm like, yeah, just fuck you. Literally what Batman does is he literally leaves his victim like, you know what, here you go. Just stay here.
Yeah, I'm not gonna kill you, but I don't have to save you. That's the thing, man.
Love that.
But now on the role of obviously we know how Batman turns out, Kevin Conroy. Obviously this whole talk of like the Batman and everything else. I do want to say obviously to those watching, I'm pretty sure they won't see this or hear it, but my condolences go out to the family of Kevin Conroy, to his husband. And he will severely be missed, but there are everyone whose lives he's impacted. I'm pretty sure that's a lot of the nerd community out here. and those he's worked with. So Kevin, you will be missed. You left a legacy that's that no one can hold. You were the Dark Knight.
Breach,
Thank you for
brother.
leaving us with this gift. The
Yes.
gift of everything he has done. He
Yeah.
did do.
So
Provided a lot of us with a lot of amazing memories, and points of anchor where we can actually connect, because if it weren't for these types of media, I don't know, friendships that were made because of the performances that Kevin has made. I mean, it's incredible. It's genuinely inspiring, but all I gotta say is just rest in peace, Kevin. Hope your family's okay. I hope the family's okay, and legacy will just live on, man. We live on through the media that you've left behind. You left behind incredible legacy. So thank you.
and it's crazy to think that a veteran of, if you would, a veteran of the role of Batman passed away, or it was announced that he passed away on Veterans Day.
Yeah.
Where me as a Marine, we honor the fallen, and we continue to honor those who came before us, and even those serving now. So, in my sense, it is kind of, in a sense, poetic.
We stand on the shoulders of giants, my man. That's
Yes,
what
we
it is.
do.
What's that from?
We stand on the shoulders of giants.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just remember it being
Sounds-
just a really cool line, a very honorable line. So I don't know where it
Sounds-
comes from.
Super familiar, but it sounds good.
Let me
Thank
see.
you. It comes from what?
I must see now where it came from.
If this is like something from Saving Private Ryan or something like that, that would make way too much sense.
No. Oh, it's from Newton.
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 Like Isaac Newton or like Fig Newton?
Isaac Newton.
Sure.
Oh.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Let it
Newton.
be known that I did not know that before Ken looked it up.
They got two monitors. I'm like, okay.
I'm pointing somewhere.
Okay, this goes here, this goes here.
Yeah,
I'm just,
I'm like the weekend at the Super Bowl halftime show. Yeah.
What the hell's going on, man?
I'm just,
Really?
I'm just, soaking in all this information,
Oh my God.
We've been soaking quite a lot.
Oh my god!
You can never have too much soak, Elliot.
Yes, you can. It's enough. Well, any final word on the Batman before we scare other viewers off? I hope I didn't offend that. I know Larry finds me weird, but anybody else want to say anything
Pretty
else?
sure he finds all four of us weird too.
I mean, we could honestly go on an entire tangent about like the condition of the Joker, like the state of the Joker as it currently stands.
Well, there's Joker 2 being made, and Lady Gaga is Harley Quinn.
Apparently, it's a movie.
Only I do, yeah.
I mean, it's a movie. No, sorry. What the fuck am I saying? It's of course the movie. It's a musical. I mean, sorry.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it's a movie.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, right. Whoa.
No, it's a musical.
Bro.
That's interesting.
Dude, bro.
Yes, it is.
Damn, bro.
It is a
Joker's
movie
getting
musical.
sting.
Yeah, man. Because I don't know, like the Joker as a character, like I mean, because I'm sorry to like really drill the point, but I just did not like the Batman's iteration because the origin of it is also just kind of whack. Like the dude has like a skin condition or something, and that's why he's evil. So it's kind of yeah. But even then, like beyond that, my issue with the Joker's portrayals, like yeah, there you go. My issue with the Joker's portrayals, like post Heath Ledger, is the fact that every single one after that, like, has tried to like mimic Heath Ledger in some way, shape, or form when that's really not necessary. Like. Heath Ledger, obviously fucking legendary. I would argue, like, on screen, the greatest Joker. Like, undeniably. I'm not saying anything controversial here by saying that, but it's like, I think it was most, like, memeified with fucking, goddamn, like, I'm just blanking on our names right now. Fucking, fucking,
From where?
30 Seconds to Mars guy.
Jared
Jared
Leto.
Leto.
No.
Jared Leto.
Leto.
Yeah, like, that was, like, the most, like, You were ridiculous. I
Yeah.
can't take this seriously. I'm sorry.
It
and
was
there's
almost
so much of
it was like
more
the
the
most
writing.
obviously derivative performance of
Dude,
the
it's-
Joker that I've seen.
it's like
Here's the thing. As I know everyone's gonna shit on Jared Leto's Joker, but I'm be the one to actually defend it. Yeah.
And
That-
grab- hold on.
I'm
Wait, one second.
listening.
Before you do, let me grab my pitchfork real quick before you do that. One second.
I'll be the one to defend it.
Fun.
And then Ellie looking like you know like he wants to get soaked.
Well, we are on
God
top
damn.
of him, so
Please get to the freaking point already.
go, Ken. What were you gonna say?
So we can all agree that Suicide Squad, the movie when it came out, was a bomb fest. You know,
Bad.
yeah, it was horrible.
Until the James Gunn version, which was a lot better.
So
Oh, yeah.
apparently, you know, like I still want to see Gunn's version of the Suicide Squad. Apparently, it's a lot darker.
You never seen it?
No, James Gunn's version, or like the actual his through and through version. Because apparently, what Suicide Squad was not his movie at all.
Toby Ayers, dude.
David Ayer. No, sorry,
David
David Ayer. I'm thinking about
David
this-
Ayer,
Oh, I was confused for a second. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, that
sorry.
movie's already out. Like,
No,
no.
no, yeah, so David Ayer's
Ayer,
version
yes.
is apparently entirely different from what Warner Brothers showed fans. You know, the designs for certain characters were a lot different. The writing was a lot different.
Yeah, apparently there was enough footage to actually cobble together a Joker and Harley Quinn movie.
Yeah.
But-
So there was that, but unfortunately, that's not what we saw. Unfortunately,
I mean,
and
if anything, for people who've seen the Snyder Cut in 2021, I mean, I think Leto gave a decent performance as the Joker in that one, and I think, yeah, like in my opinion, I think like Jared Leto in a context with Joker can work. Like especially with the delivery, it's like, I'll be the bigger man, you know, like I love that shit. It tickles my fancy, you know what I mean? It's great, you know. And there's obviously a little contention unknown to us, but Batman and Joker, like they have this tension that, and I think Leto does sell it in his performance. But aside from that, I don't think I have enough where I can say that Leto's performance is great in my opinion. It's not bad, but it's just I don't really care much for it.
which I understand, you know, for that factor, and to me at least, it shows what good writing and good acting can do to a certain character when done the right way. And in a span of 5 minutes of these two just bantering back and forth at each other, you feel, oh, this is the Batman and the Joker.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I got those vibes from there too. Yeah, when Batfleck is he's actually convincing when he says, "Make no mistake, I will fucking kill you." You know, you shit. Yeah.
The interaction between these two just brought me so much joy. I'm like, this is what could have been for these two characters, because there's already so much backstory in just 5 minutes.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
The fact that like the fact that already you see in BVSTs that Jason Todd is already dead, or sorry, Dick Grayson, you know, which was not Snyder's idea. That's Warner Brothers saying, have it be Dick, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever, you know, whatever. But a Robin is dead, you know.
A
And
Robin
obviously,
is dead.
a Robin is dead, and Joker is the one who killed him.
No, Jason Todd.
Yeah, we know it's Jason Todd, but Warner Brothers wants to be asshole. Oh, at the time frame wants to be Dick, saying like, no, it's Dick, whatever the case may be.
It's definitely good.
And it shows how psychotic this motherfucker is, you know, of Joker as Jared Leto. Not this pimp gangster we get in Cisco. No, this psychotic menace that just likes to fuck around with Batman. You know?
But
Yeah.
I gotta agree with Javi though. When you think about it though, there's 3 Jokers at once though.
No. And I agree that with how you're saying there's too much Jokers going around. You know, there's already Jared Leto, there's Joaquin Phoenix.
What was the gentleman's name who played him in the Batman?
I
Um,
forgot.
What's
Ba-
yeah,
um,
I don't know his name.
Barry Cogan, I think his name is
Yeah, Barry.
Barry
Barry
Cogan.
Cogan. Larry said like that like, we should let him join the podcast. Maybe in a different episode, Larry.
Hey,
Maybe, but you got to let us soak first. So
let that sink in for a minute, boys.
Maybe when I'm not munching on fries another time.
bro.
But yes, there's many iterations of Joker that we've seen ever since Heath Ledger's passing. And honestly, on Cameron Monaghan's played the Joker, Jared Leto, Joaquin Phoenix, and many other Jokers. Yes, I agree. We've seen too many iterations. To the point where I want to see different villains play, go against the Batman.
Which is why I think we were robbed when Warner Brothers just decided to all of a sudden just cancel the Batgirl movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were
Could've
about
been
to get another Brendan Fraser comeback as the Firefly. Dude, the Firefly, man. We don't get to hear Garfield Lynns that often, Like, I like Firefly, I really do, but I haven't seen him like represented other than in the Arkham games, and I really appreciate that for them for that as well. But I would have loved to see a movie where we saw someone who's in a deeper closet of the Rogues Gallery just come out and just perform it. That'd be incredible.
And Michael Keaton would have been back as Batman.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, we were robbed.
that would have been so freaking cool, man.
I mean, what if we will see him in the Flash movie when it comes out? Still,
Well, there's a lot of issues with him because Ezra Miller is
It's on their bullshit.
Yeah.
excuse me, sorry.
Me and Andres spoke about this when I was Simon Charlotte. Regardless of the shit that Ezra Miller's been doing recently or the shit that's been going on with this whole controversy, I still want to see this movie because I'm here like, okay, how can we see portrayed Barry Allen going through time after the events of the Justice League movie, and
You're okay, Larry. Oh, Larry, Nicolas Cage was almost Superman, not Batman.
yeah, agree.
Yeah.
He's coming from the front.
Yeah. So I want to see this version of the Flash going back in time because this is the only Flash we've seen that accurately depicts the Speed Force.
Yeah, no, that'd be cool to see them, and maybe Kid Flash and maybe the old Flash, like back in the 40s and 50s rendition. Yeah,
maybe get some reverse Flash accents, some Ilbort Thor.
There was a rumor, not sure if it's true or not. I'm so curious to see what they do with this reverse Flash. But apparently, the reverse Flash was going to be Barry Allen himself.
Oh, that would have been a twist.
That would have been a very interesting twist to see of how he became this kind of demented character. I'm like, oh. And since Ezra Miller can play these demented roles, as we've seen before in the past, this would have been an interesting take to see him as lighthearted Barry Allen to his fucked up reverse Flash. And unlike CW, where Barry Allen was Savitar, fuck that shit.
Can you say it again? I'm sorry.
Barry Allen and the CW was also Savitar.
That show's kind of digressed into like basic lightsaber fights. The CGI just went downhill. It's just I only watched the first season, and after that, I'm just like, no more.
Yeah, whatever. But I do want to see the interaction between Ezra Miller's Flash and Michael Keaton's Batman. That would be very interesting. That would be very interesting to see. In my opinion,
yeah, it would have been great as well. You know, what would have been also really cool. Maybe is if for example, if Michael Keaton is, because I know in the comic books it's like Thomas Wayne and Barry Allen team up together. It would have been cool to see like someone like freaking what's his name? What's the guy's name who plays him in the he's in The Walking Dead. He had the bat that beat the crap out of someone. He also played Thomas Wayne in the Batman v Superman movie.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Yes, he should play. It would have been really good to see him as like Batman. Like
Lauren Cohan and Jeffrey Dean Morgan want to play the roles. Jeffrey Dean Morgan wants to play Thomas Wayne, and Lauren Colgan wants to play the Joker version of Dr. Wayne.
Ooh, that would butter my cheeks up real good. Yes, absolutely.
It would, it would really soak in everything, you know. Everything would make sense.
Enough.
God damn it.
Go 5 minutes without saying something sus challenge. Impossible. Like,
This shit. Oh my god, you guys are gonna get an alcohol poisoning if you do.
damn, bro.
Yeah. So again, I don't need to go in 5 minutes. I have to wake up early tomorrow. But to end this whole thing, and back to our thing with Kevin Conroy, you know, the main reason we're having this podcast episode
Really?
is that
I
Yeah.
forgot I wasn't high anymore.
hello, the ADHD podcast for you, my friend.
The basic soaking experience.
Sponsored by LSD. LDS, I'm sorry.
Yes, the basic experience sponsored by US.
No.
Not sponsored by UF. No, we reject that. No. Sponsored by the Mormon Church.
That's right. It's their fault.
But again, Conroy left an incredible mark on the comic book world. He left a legacy with Batman. So all I can say is, Kevin, one more time, thank you for everything you've done for shaping this nerd into the way he is today, because of what you've done for the character, the way you've inspired many people to embrace who they are as nerds. This podcast will not be the same without you.
I know that, especially with our Batman discussions. Absolutely.
Well, with the
Definitely.
first episode that I accidentally deleted being the Arkham series.
That
So
was what he did. So
Yeah, Kevin, on behalf of all of us, man, real. Rest in peace, dog. Real.
until
we'll
next
miss you, man.
Real shit, dude.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much for listening out there, everyone. Appreciate you guys listening, and just want to say thank you so much for watching, and shout out to Larry for joining us for the first time.
You're a real one, Larry.
Yo, he said he will let us soak, so
Yes,
please
Larry does.
hit us up at basicnerdexperience. What's the email? Let's get something set up, you know what I'm saying?
Go on Instagram, and we'll go from there.
Soakadventures.com.
Alrighty, well, guys, thanks so much for joining us. We're gonna have a lot of fun. Hopefully, we can get more consistent by doing at least once every week or 2 weeks with just something here, because it's just nice to go to a place and relax, and then to really soak up all the knowledge that we learned for the past couple hours. So
You're talking about us being dirty. You are the dirtiest motherfucker.
Soaking with the boys.
A little marinade on the side, you know.
Hell yeah, brother.
well, let me just soak up a cold one and just say goodnight.
All right, everyone. Yeah, everybody. Thank you for watching. Real.
Those people who watch it, thank you very much for tuning into what we consider us having a good old time with each other. So thanks guys for tuning in. For listening to us rant about Kevin Conroy, about Batman, about Eddie soaking in his dreams. You know.
That's you. That's
That's you, bro. I saw you.
Anyway.
I think Ken's projecting a little bit.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in, for listening.
Yes. Good night.
And this is XV. See you guys next time. Hopefully we'll be here next time if Eddie invites me.
Yes.
He's got his own outro.
Yeah, right.
What a
Oh, yeah, brother.
savage, bro. Yes.
Javi, you want to end off with anything?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Thank you, Kevin Conroy, for everything. Legendary dude. Rest in peace. And yeah. Good night.
Sleep tight.
Address?
Signing off.
On behalf of all of us here at the Basic Nerd Experience, thanks for watching us rant. Thanks for watching us honor or try to honor Kevin Conroy's legacy. And on behalf of all you guys, thank you. Chili Mr. 305. You know, yeah.
Well, good night, everyone. Best of luck, and just stay nerdy out there, everyone.
Stay
That's
nerdy
right.
and stay soaked.
Stay wet.
Oh my
dude.
God.
This outro is taking like fucking forever. On behalf of the basic soaking experience.